Hi everyone, this is Balázs from RacingBrick. Last week you saw my early preview of this set at the reveal, and now it's time to take a proper detailed look. This is the latest LEGO Icons vehicle, the 10357 Shelby Cobra 427 SC. The preview sparked a lot of opinions, some loved it, some didn't, so let's dive into the build that got the comment section buzzing. We won't dwell too long on the box. This is your typical 18 plus black design with some basic info and dimensions on the back. Let's see what's inside. The set has 1241 pieces, the price is €150 or $160, and it will be available from the 1st of July for LEGO insiders. For more details and local pricing, check the link below. The box uses the newer style opening. Inside we've got the numbered bags, 8 of them, plus 2 unnumbered ones. And unfortunately, continuing a trend I don't like, the manual and sticker sheet are left loose without protection. Dear LEGO, where's that paper envelope when we need it? At least the windshield is packed separately, credit where is due. As I suspected during the preview, the sticker sheet is tiny, with just 3 stickers. The manual gives us a brief overview of the history of the car. Fun fact, although the car has a cult status today and has a high value, production, especially of the 427 models, was a financial failure for both Shelby and Ford. We also get a few words from the design team about the car and their collaboration with Shelby American. Here's the parts list if you are interested. Now let's get started on the build. We begin with a bunch of technical elements, lots of jumper plates and a quite colorful internal structure. This definitely isn't one of those everything must be black builds. The lower part of the seats is built, and here are the pedals. I thought we were only going to get spoons, but apparently there's a fork too. We built a compact steering rack using half beams and half pins. This is the front axle. Once I've managed to push it into place and connect everything, you will see how the steering will work. Adding more details, apparently the red 1x1 flower piece will be used a lot. We have 44 of these in the set. 2 of the 3 stickers go on early, featuring some extra gauges and Carroll Shelby's signature, complementing the printed dashboard elements. The manual includes trivia snippets again, like the $100 bill on the dash. Many of you already explained that in the comments on the preview video. The steering wheel seems to come in a new color and has a printed Cobra logo in the center. The movement is limited but functional. Now we start detailing the engine bay, with grey flowers this time. The 427 cubic inch V8 is nicely represented. This is the build at the end of phase 2. Next we add the shifter, yes that's not a microphone piece I know, and build a surprisingly complex knot assembly, again with red flowers. This is a quite interesting section. We can see how the recessed vents on the side of the car are built. I don't think I've seen this piece connected this way to studs previously. The end result looks pretty convincing. Same goes for the door handle area and the curvature of the door itself, parts going every direction, but they somehow form a seamless shape. I love it. Bonus points for the cup as a side mirror, and we even get a little brick-built door limiter, not the sturdiest, but it does the job. The flat silver exhaust is supported on just one end and needs careful adjustment to line up. It ends in a bar and half pin combo. Some said it is not the most authentic solution, but it is certainly required. The entire assembly is attached to the main construction with 2 Technic pins, which is quite a remarkable and unusual solution. Build the other side, corrected a small positioning error I had before, and this is our build at the end of back 4. Before you lose 5 minutes like I did, those white bricks with a plus sign in the manual mean the parts are in the extra bags like the windshield and tools. Some visors are cleverly built. If you don't like them, they are easy to remove. Less ideal is the small gap between the grey parts and the windscreen, hard to notice at first, but once you see it, you can't unsee it. Here is the first printed piece with the stripes, and the attachment method is also interesting with those clips. The hood features a clean snot build and connects with double hinges for a smooth opening motion. The grille section is impressively dense, and yes, those are sausages used as oil lines. Wheel arches, wrenches and ice skates, everything's in play. We finally meet the new corner slope piece, and the way it blends with adjacent parts shows off some thoughtful geometry. The front end connects with a mix of clips and pins. It is tricky but surprisingly sturdy. There's a blue heart hidden here, and that's a pretty unstable connection. I'm not sure why this rounded tile is on a jumper plate instead of a normal one. The front light is barely connected to that rod. I fear it will be quite easy to knock off. Here comes the upper part of this section with the previously criticized flat pieces, and the last curved parts with the visible edges. Now we head to the rear, more reverse connections and tricky angles. The rear axle is also far from simple and conventional. It is time to join these two, and after a little reinforcement, this is the build at the end of phase 6. We install a flex tube, finish the seats, and build a cool angled assembly at the back. The trick behind the cool rear lights is now revealed. The rounded 1x2 tile is new in trans red. It has to be fitted in a very specific position, but luckily that plate with the rail helps to keep it there. You can't push it any further in, and this is what it looks like when the other side is also covered. A brilliant solution. Let's see what these angled parts do. We have to fit the whole thing in a very specific position, but there are guide pieces to help with this. The result is a nicely angled rear quarter. The wide Technic beam that comes from below is apparently used to fix this upper part. We are on the last bag now. Here's a cool little fire extinguisher. Here's another neat trick to reverse the build direction. It's part of the trunk assembly that has the third and final sticker for the license plate. It's attached with clips. Adding a support here, then I finish the rear part with the curved elements and the fuel cap. The rims are new and nicely designed, though in plain light bluish grey rather than flat silver. The wheel arches are also brand new parts, not just recolors. They will be very useful for many builds. You can see the reason for the flat surface over the front wheel. The fender part has to be attached to the body somehow. There's also a little trophy with the reverse build trick and a toolbox we can put in the trunk, and we are done. So here it is, the finished Shelby Cobra 427 SC. And as usual, I can confidently say that it looks so much better in person than in the official photos. The model is packed with clever techniques, thoughtful part usage, and some impressive shaping that works remarkably well in many areas. Yes, there are still some weaker points, but I'll come back to them in a moment. The grille section stands out with its sharp angle and solid construction. The hood continues that angled look and opens smoothly thanks to the double hinges. The doors blend beautifully into the side panels, and the angled side exhaust adds a lot to the car's aggressive profile, even if that means sacrificing a proper exhaust tip, which I don't find particularly distracting. The side vent is another highlight, built in a way that's both creative and convincing. Inside, the cockpit is nicely detailed. At the rear, the car tapers off in a satisfying way, and the brick-built rear lights are one of the most innovative parts of the build. Onto the features. There is a functional steering, the angle is quite limited but it works, and with the new fender part, the wheels fill the available space well. The hood opens easily, revealing a detailed engine bay. The doors swing out to a realistic angle with a limiter, although that limiter is quite easy to knock loose, and the trunk opens smoothly and fits a small toolbox inside. So we talked about many positive aspects so far, now let's see the less appealing part. The shaping looks much better in person. I quite like this rear part, but that edge above the front light still bothers me. I think the designers did their best without making yet another new part to make it more accurate, but considering how much effort went into all the details, this point sticks out. The front lights themselves are also not very securely attached and will likely to be the first parts to fall off during handling. Then there are the wheels. We have a cool new rim design, which is great, but I see a big missed opportunity here. These period correct slicks could have been a perfect fit here. Unfortunately, the offset of this rim doesn't really match, so these wheels stick out more, and with an upgraded rim part it would have been complete, but I'm excited to see what the modders will come up with. I'm optimistic. And while the Shelby livery looks authentic and striking, it's almost identical to the blue and white Mustang we got years ago. Most people probably won't mind, although I've seen people who thought the Cobra was just a custom B model of the Mustang. It would have been great to see a more distinct or less familiar color scheme. Even if something like a Golf livery isn't historically accurate for this car, it could have helped it stand out more. A small remark about the stickers. Yes, we only get 3, but this is an 18+ set with a generous number of printed parts already included. Adding 3 more custom prints instead of stickers wouldn't have been a major leap in terms of budget, but it could have gone a long way in improving customer satisfaction. About the price, €150 or $160 for 1,241 pieces. Comparing the cars currently available, the DeLorean costs €200 but has significantly more parts, the Countach costs only €30 more and has about 250 more pieces, and the Porsche 911 has a price of 170 euros and 200 more parts. The Corvette is already retired, which had a very similar price tag and piece count. The Cobra is clearly the smallest of them all, but it is a pretty dense build and much more interesting than the Corvette, for example, and it looks better too. The car will already start at 140 euros at some retailers, and I'm sure the price will come down over time. So, is this a perfect set? Not quite, but it's a very enjoyable build with smart part usage, creative techniques, and lots of potential for modding. I would say I'm about 80% happy with the shaping, and this is definitely one of the better additions to the LEGO Icons garage. Let me know, folks, what you think. Do you like the shaping, the building techniques, the new parts? Let's talk about it in the comment section. If you enjoyed this video, then please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe with notifications, as more exciting LEGO videos are coming soon. See you next time, bye bye.